Creighton basketball on KMTV, your Action 3 news station.
The CenturyLink Center in downtown Omaha is the place to be on a Thursday night for a Big Ten Missouri Valley Conference showdown as the 21st ranked Creighton Bluejays battle the Northwestern Wildcats. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Travis Justice. My color commentator again tonight is former Creighton standout Nick Baugh. Nick, when you look at this showdown, it is just on paper a really good one.
Yeah, Northwestern, second best start in school history, 10-1 so far this year. Wins against LSU, Georgia Tech, Seton Hall playing great basketball right now. And then on the other side, Creighton's playing great, 9-1, ranked 21st in the country. They're playing great basketball, 86 points per game as a team, 4th in the country. And they lead the nation in assists, 21 assists per game, unselfish group.
Time now for our players to watch, brought to you by Lexus. And just when you thought we've said everything there is to say about Doug McDermott, he goes and has 35 points, a career high against Tulsa.
Well, we found out what happens if you play Doug one-on-one in the post. He goes for 35, career high at Tulsa, in a great rhythm right now. Second nationally in scoring, 25 points per game. He shoots 57% from three. He shoots 62% from the field. He's scored 20 or more points in 9 straight games. Unbelievable rhythm offensively for Doug McDermott.
Those numbers are absolutely sick. And when you watch the Northwestern Wildcats, you're going to see a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers. And keep an eye on John Scherna, because that matchup between Scherna and McDermott is going to be fun to watch.
Really good one. Heavyweight match right there. John Scherna, a great player in his own right. On pace to be Northwestern's all-time leading scorer. He leads the Big Ten in scoring right now at 19.5 points per game. He went off for 37 points earlier this year against LSU. He fits that Princeton system perfectly. Has a great feel for the game. Scherna is going to be fun to watch tonight.
Now, you mentioned that Princeton system. What makes it so difficult to defend?
Well, it's tough on 1 week's notice here. You have to throw out almost all your regular defensive principles. You can't get too extended up the floor or you'll get backdoored. Creighton's going to have to do a great job communicating tonight. Really tough to prepare for.
Now, the Creighton Bluejays already have 2 wins this season against Big Ten teams. Will tonight be the 3rd? It's the Wildcats and Bluejays coming up next on KMTV Action 3 News.
Creighton basketball on KMTV, your Action 3 news station. Brought to you by Lexus of Omaha.
Losses with the Wildcats. And of course the Bluejays, coached by Greg McDermott in his 2nd season on the Hilltop. He has 32 wins and 17 losses.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please turn
overall,
your attention to center court, where head coach
181 wins and 148 losses in Division I. And now at half court, Coach McDermott is going to honor Antoine Young, who against Tulsa the other night went over the 1,000-point mark for his career at Creighton.
Oh, just a great career for Antoine Young, the only scholarship senior on the roster. What can you say about the Iron Man? You know, he's led the Missouri Valley Conference in assist turnover ratio last 2 seasons. Homegrown Bellevue West kid. He has had a fantastic career. Nice moment for him.
Time now for our keys to the game. First for Northwestern.
Let's start with the fact that Northwestern needs to guard the three-point line. Creighton averages 9 makes per game, 4th in the nation as a team at three-point percentage, better than 43%. Key number 2, transition defense. Creighton averages 86 points per game. You don't get that by walking the ball up the floor. Northwestern has to get back. And obviously, key number 3 is they have to contain Dougie McDermott. Creighton keys, communication. Against that Princeton offense, you got to communicate those cuts and screens, and then offensively, you got to communicate what defense they're in. Glass eaters, they're going to have to rebound the ball, so and get out and run. Northwestern not a very good rebounding basketball team. Then tempo. Creighton's got to get this game going up and down. Those are your keys.
Thanks, Nick Baugh. Our officials tonight out of the Big Ten Conference, Tom Eads, Mike Sanzier, and Bo Borowski. This is going to be a good one. The Creighton Bluejays, for the first time in history, taking on a 3rd Big Ten team in 1 season. And the opening tip goes to the Bluejays.
So you've seen a little bit of everything from Northwestern. You've seen some 1-3 run zone. You've seen some soft switching man-to-man. They come out in the man-to-man, and they go to Dougie right away.
Inside to McDermott. He scores the first 2 points of the game. Picking up where he left off against the Golden Hurricane.
Yeah, 35 points again on Monday, career high. Nice set play to get McDermott freed up. Always seems to find a way to score early in a game so he can get into a great rhythm.
Doug had 14 last year in a loss at Northwestern. A game the Wildcats won 65-52. This is Northwestern's first ever trip to Omaha, just the 5th meeting overall between the Bluejays and the Wildcats.
You see already McDermott and Scherna guarding each other. It's going to be a great matchup.
The big fella, 0-0, Echenike can't get it to go. The putback gets his offensive rebound, 2 in a row. Out of bounds. Going to be off the Wildcats, still belonging to the Blue Jays.
Always need a steady diet of Gregory Echenique if you're Greg McDermott. He's kind of had an up and down season so far, but it's really hit his stride here in the last 2 games.
Well, go back to the game against Tulsa. He scored the first 9 points of the second half. Really big boost for the Blue Jays.
The biggest thing with him is that he can't get silly fouls early in the game.
McDermott draws the foul. He'll go and shoot 2 where he's one of the best at the line. Believe it or not, I mean, I don't think there's anything this kid doesn't do wrong as he shoots 83% from the field.
Well, I think the first thing you have to do whenever you're going against a great individual offensive player, you have to make them guard on the defensive end, and that's what Greg McDermott and his coaching staff wanted to do going against John Scherna. Doug McDermott taking it right at him, picking up an early foul on Scherna.
First one from Doug, he's good. He's got 3 on the night. He's got 9 straight games, folks, of 20 points or more. So if we talk about him a lot, don't be surprised because he's always giving us something to talk about. 4 points from McDermott.
It's going to be a running theme. You're going to hear a lot about number 3, Doug McDermott. Interesting matchup at the point guard position. Dave Sobolewski and Antoine Young. Talking about a senior that scored 1,000 points and Sobolewski a freshman. Tough environment for a true freshman here.
Scherna for 3. You like him in this offense.
Well, he's a perfect fit for this Princeton style. He is an assassin on beyond the arc, and Doug McDermott makes a big-time mental error to step off of Scherna and gift wrap a 3 for him, but he really is active, and he does a great job reading the defense.
Grant Gibbs swings at the Manigault. Echenique. He's going to either Doug or Antoine. Nobody was looking. Out of bounds. Turnover on the Blue Jays. And we call it the Princeton offense because that's what it is. And Bill Carmody knows it well because, well, he used to coach at Princeton. He knows that offense probably better than anybody.
Yeah, Bill Carmody really good at teaching this style, and such a tough team to prepare for. To use a football analogy, it's like taking on Georgia Tech or Air Force or Nebraska back in the day where you have to prepare for pure option, and it just takes away all your defensive rules. Take a look at Scherna as he drives, and Gibbs looked like he got all ball, but they call a foul.
Here come the Jays after the Scherna miss. Inside. What a pass by McDermott to Echenique.
Doug McDermott puts so much pressure on the defense in transition. That's one of the most underrated things about him is how hard he runs the floor. He attracts all the attention, dumps it off to his running mate Echenique for a nice deuce.
Turnover by the Wildcats. Berkovich called for the walk. Good crowd at the CenturyLink Center tonight, Nick.
Certainly a nice buzz around Omaha about this Creighton basketball team. Creighton really hasn't been in this situation in quite some time here, being in the top 25 and having the national spotlight on you. And this city loves a winner, and they'll respond.
Echenique, look out below.
Echenique. 2 assists from Doug McDermott. Good screen and roll there. Echenique, he's a guy that you don't want to get going if you're Bill Carmody. That's a load for the front court there for Creighton.
5-point Blue Jay lead. Here's Crawford.
Crawford, I think he is, if Scherna's 1A, then Crawford's 1B. He's a guy that has bailed him out of numerous games. Scored 20 points in the first half, and their win against Tulsa. He's a great player.
Antoine Young, the little one-hander. There's Gribbs, pushed out of the way. Couldn't get it to go. Going to be out of bounds off the Wildcats. And you saw the little shove on Grant Gibbs.
What he'll do, he's a smart player, and he's a great rebounder at the guard position. Take a look at it, and he'll time his jump, try and climb up the back, and it goes off of Curletti.
Look at McDermott. Crawford was just beat defensively there.
Well, and what he does so well is the ball's in and out of his hands so fast. It's a great basket cut. Then he has such great court awareness to find where he is on the floor and lay it right up and in. Great start for McDermott offensively. 2 assists, couple baskets.
Hearn might have got away with a walk. Sobolewski brings it back out. 13 on the shot clock. 3-point basket by Curletti.
That's a shot they'll be willing to give up. They want Echenike, when he's guarding Merkovich or Curletti, to be down in the paint, taking away those cuts.
Doug McDermott. He misses. He's human every once in a while. When we talk about Northwestern taking threes, every player who's played in the game this year has fired a three-pointer. They're not afraid to shoot it. Crawford. Just like that, we're tied at 10.
Both these teams so talented offensively. They're both doing it in an unselfish manner.
Tough pass by Antoine Young, gives it away. Here comes Crawford. He's by himself, pulls it back out.
So Northwestern will be opportunistic in transition, but they'd rather get in the half court and execute this Princeton style of offense. Watch how Creighton's going to make sure they stay in between the basket and their man. And if they go backdoor, they're going to go backdoor through the Blue Jay defense's body. And you have to go over the top all those handoffs.
Crawford, there's Gibbs with the rebound. He'll get a lot of it.
Beautiful pass.
Gregory Echenike, the hoop, the harm. Timeout on the floor. The Blue Jays up 12-10. We'll be back to the CenturyLink Center right after these messages. He's not afraid to represent from Chicago, but he's smart. He brought a hard hat in just in case.
Just in case things go south. Protect that dome, Wildcat fan.
You look at the start for the Blue Jays, even the Wildcats, Northwestern shooting 57% from the field. You've got Creighton with 55% of the field, but the big one, Nick, is the Jays are going down low, 10 of their 12 points in the paint.
I don't care what team you're talking about, what level. I find it hard to believe that there are two better front court players, post players in the country than McDermott and Echenike, and they've dominated this game. 6-1 in the rebounding column, 10-2 advantage in points in the paint. Those two guys playing great ball right now.
Echenike at the line to try to finish the old-fashioned three-point play. He can't convert. Not a very good free throw shooter is Gregory.
So see how Gregory Echenike is going to play off Curletti and help on cuts. So he'll show a little bit on this ball screen, but he'll back off them and help out people if they get beat on a back door. He'll make Curletti make some shots.
Look at Crawford. Got a good first step. Little one-handed runner in the lane. We're tied at 12.
Again, Steve Lutz, assistant coach for the Creighton Bluejays, had the scout for Northwestern, and he was adamant that Crawford was every bit as important as Sherna in the Northwestern Wildcat offensive attack.
Crawford's been in double figures every game this season. Look at Gregory Echenike.
And that's where they have an advantage. They're going to continue to go right down in the paint. That's why I think Bill Carmody is going to go to that 1-3-1 zone here shortly and possibly stick with it for the duration of the game. Good move from Curletti there. A little over the right shoulder, left jump hook there, right over Gregory.
Tied at 14. Here's Gibbs. Turns it over.
Rare turnover from Gibbs.
Cobb can't finish. Jays with the rebound. Antoine Young. Back out to Manigault. 20 on the shot clock. Back inside where the Jays have had success. McDermott for three. There's no stopping him. Inside, outside, it doesn't matter.
Just pick and pop basketball. You better get back to him and stay attached to his body. Sherna makes a mental mistake and leaves McDermott from beyond the arc. Again, shooting 57% from downtown.
Foul on McDermott. Cerna was making the cut. Doug just kind of reached out and got a little bit of that jersey.
And it's so hard because going against this Princeton offense, you're just so locked in and you're so nervous about cuts and making sure you get over the top of screens, you can get yourself holding. That's what Doug did there.
Look at Manigault, quick hands. But it's still going to belong to Northwestern.
Manigault, great defender, but he's a better defender on shooters and chasing them off screens. Crawford much bigger and stronger than Jahen's Manigan.
Cerna. And they go home with a
charge. That's huge. 2 fouls. Now on John Cerna. Everything they do on the baseline out of bounds is to get Cerna a look there. Nice curl screen, and that's paying attention to scouting report at shoot-around. They said they wanted to help on that curl with Antoine Young, and he steps right outside the marked area and takes a charge.
And the Blue Jays, one of the best at taking charges.
Again, just unselfish all around. First, nationally in assists, and then the most unselfish play in basketball is taking a charge, and they will certainly have volunteers to do that.
Will Artino into the game now, and they're going to call a, wow. They're going to call it on Doug?
Yeah, Doug trying to post up John Cerna. Unfortunate.
Bo Borowski hearing the boos. They're not yelling Bo, they're booing. They don't like it as Doug's now got 2 on him, and he's going to have an early, sit a little bit earlier.
It's a huge play.
So Ethan Rogge now in with Will Artino, the redshirt freshman out of Waukee, Iowa. And Artino got beat on the inside and couldn't stop the shot. Northwestern with a 1-point lead. Artino, good second effort, went up strong, missed it. Fouled a shot.
Gonna have to get offense from somewhere. This is something Creighton has not had to deal with yet this season, is Doug McDermott in foul trouble. Where will the Jays find offense from? Everything they do goes through McDermott. Nice basket there from Artino. And they got Manigan, Cerna.
10 on the shot clock. Cobb kicks it back out. Here's Crawford. He's tough.
He's a streaky scorer. He can score in bunches.
Antoine Young goes right by Cobb. Left him in the dust.
Beautiful crossover. Catch him peeking. Left to right crossover. All the way to the rack. See if they take Manigan on the block here with Cerna on it.
You see that cut?
That's beautiful. I mean, the Princeton offense is a fun offense to watch, but you can't give up a backdoor cut. If they cut, they have to go through your body. You can't get too extended away from your man.
Artino, little one-hander, can't finish. How long, even with 2 fouls, can you keep Doug McDermott on the bench? Crawford for 3. Northwestern with its biggest lead of the game at 25-21.
Crawford in a great rhythm.
Artino.
Artino.
Not a lot of defense being played in this game right now. Both teams in a great rhythm. You got to stay so locked into scouting report and paying attention to detail right now. You're the Creighton Blue Jays.
Blue Jays can tie it or take the lead with a 3. Antoine Young tied at 25. This game has been everything we thought it was going to be, Nick. Both teams shooting lights out. And now the crowd has come alive. Rogge with the rebound. I don't know when the last time we had to stop and play. We're past the 11 minutes.
It's a clean play game right now. There we go.
There we go. Northwestern shooting 69%. Creighton shooting 65%. It's a good one at the CenturyLink Center. Back after these messages.
Blue Jays with the basketball after timeout on the floor.
No need to worry about missing your favorite CBS primetime shows. Just set your DVR for 2:07 a.m. That's when the Big Bang Theory will start, followed by Rules of Engagement and Person of Interest at 3:07. And for those of you wondering about The Mentalist tonight, do not worry. The Mentalist will be seen in its entirety, right after the Jays game with Northwestern, right here on KMTV Action 3 News. 8:56 to go in the first half, tied at 25. And these two teams are about as even-steven as it gets.
Absolutely. Combined for 17 assists, 5 turnovers, 22 of 34 from the field. Both teams really playing well offensively.
Grant Gibbs gets his own rebound. Look at him finish. Again, going after it. No foul called. Gibbs will just give you everything he got when he's in there, Nick.
And Gibbs, he's sneaky long at 6'4", and an underrated athlete. He's got great timing in there to grab rebounds. In the big story right now, though, is Drew Crawford with the ball, has 13 points.
Make it 15 for Drew Crawford. Lighten it up. Rogge back over to Chapman, who's in there. Avery Dingman, three-point specialist out of Branson, Missouri, can't connect on his first shot.
Let's see, without Doug McDermott on the floor, again with 2 fouls, where will the Jays score from? How will they operate offensively?
$15 on the shot clock. Crawford already with 15. Make it 17.
Boy, oh boy, is he in a great rhythm right now.
Crawford having his way with the Blue Jay defense. 4-point Wildcat lead.
He's 8 of 9 from the floor. Now here's this 1-3-1 zone from Northwestern.
Another timeout on the floor, 7:28 to go in the first half. Northwestern on top of the Blue Jays, 29-25. Back to the CenturyLink Center after these messages.
Place to go for embroidery, screen printing, and promotional product needs. We also specialize of 2012.
Drew Crawford has scored 11 straight points for the Wildcats. Look at that cut.
That's a defensive breakdown. Josh Jones, again, needs to stay in between his man and the basket. So if there is a backdoor cut, he's cutting right into your body. That's what makes this Princeton offense so hard, is you're taught to get off and to the ball, away from your man to deny. Against this Princeton offense in Northwestern, you got to stay in between your man and the basket.
Crawford 8 of 9 from the field, 17 points. Leads all scorers. Doug McDermott still on the bench for the Blue Jays. How long does he stay there, Nick?
Depends on how the rest of this half goes here. By any means necessary, you try and get to halftime without putting him back in.
That would be 7 minutes, 18 seconds.
You got to try and get in the teeth of this 1-3-1. There you go.
Out of bounds, still going to belong to the Blue Jays.
Good action there, though. You got to attack the elbows. Travis, you don't want to get pressed out by the half-court line and just play catch back and forth. You got to stay aggressive in this zone.
Gibbs has made some tough passes, uncharacteristic of what we've seen so far this season.
And Gibbs has been tremendous taking care of the ball. Where you got to be careful.
Every time Echineke puts the ball on the floor, that has the possibility of happening.
You're right. You can't bring the ball down where guys like Sobolewski can go get it.
4-point Northwestern lead. Look at Gibbs go up after the rebound.
And beat the zone down the floor in transition.
Manigat. Now the Jays having a hard time getting a bucket. That was a good look by Jahan.
Right look, pushing it in transition. No one stops you. That's an uncontested 14-footer.
Verkovic. 31-25.
Verkovic does shoot 50% from the floor, but that's a shot that they're willing to give up rather than having Scherner or Crawford take and make shots.
Rogge with the turnover. Bad pass as he tried to skip it over to Gibbs. Nice pass to Crawford. That guy's unstoppable, giving 19. Biggest lead of the night for Northwestern at 33-25.
30-second timeout for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, same situation we just talked about. Those back doors, you cannot get too far up the floor and get too extended, or those back doors will make you look silly. As Antoine Young got too extended, watch how far up the floor Antoine Young is. You got to be in between, Giants Manigat, in between Crawford and the basket. Same thing. They talked about it at shoot-around extensively, and right now, Northwestern extremely comfortable and confident offensively in whatever they do.
33-25, an 8-0 run by the Northwestern Wildcats. So the Jays coming out of 30-second timeout. Just trying to slow it down.
Well, that's what Northwestern can do when they switch defenses and then go to this 1-3-1. They rely on you to get it a little bit stagnant and stand. And that's what's happened to Creighton. And then offensively, just far too easy. Rhythm looks for all the players in purple right now.
Antoine Young. Jays needed that bucket.
A lot more purpose to that possession. See how they got the ball flattened out on the baseline? They had the ball moving around, opened up the lane, and Antoine was able to make him pay. But this is where they got to get stops here for the Creighton Bluejays.
Crawford finally misses. We were wondering if it was possible.
And 8 of 9 from the floor, now 8 of 10.
But here's where the Blue Jays have to capitalize on a miss and a charge called by Mike Sanzier on Grant Gibbs. And over the years, Mike Sanzier, not a popular referee in Omaha by any means.
And that's a huge play, too, because that gets Gibbs his second personal foul.
So 2 on Gibbs, 2 on McDermott.
It's where you got to calm your emotions down. Things haven't gone well for Creighton. Have a handful of guys in foul trouble. You got to stay calm. So many weapons there. Back door into a post up, and then he does travel. They got to take advantage of Dave Sobolewski on the baseline there, trying to guard Echenike and Raggi when the ball gets flattened out. That's a freshman trying to guard some big boys.
Antoine Young for 3. Take it any way you can get it. James down 3. Sherner kicks it back out to Crawford. 15 on the shot clock. And a foul on Manigat. Sanzier with the call again on that one. Take another look at it.
Tough, looked like good defense there. He's on his heels. You can crowd him there. Boy, I don't know about that one. The crowd didn't like it either.
Timeout on the floor. We'll be back to the CenturyLink Center right after this on KMTV Extra 3 News.
Great ball movement against this 1-3-1 key. Looking to flatten out the defense. Ball in and out of everybody's hands. Gets everybody scrambled. Opens up the middle of the floor for Antoine Young to make a play. Against this 1-3-1, Travis, you cannot get on your heels and catch 30, 40 feet away from the hoop.
Welcome back to the CenturyLink Center. Travis Justice, Nick Baugh with you. We've got ourselves a good one between the Missouri Valley Conference and the Big Ten, as the Jays trailing right now by 3 Northwestern basketball to start this possession.
And Doug McDermott picked up 2 fouls. Doug's only played 8 minutes in this game. Second leading scorer in the country.
Rebound goes to Rogge. Again, Blue Jays need to take advantage of the misses because they've been few and far between for Northwestern.
Got to try and get in the teeth of this defense. See there when you mess around away from the hoop there, they can really get out and pressure you and turn you over.
Northwestern shooting 65% so far. And the turnovers haven't helped the Jays either. 7 turnovers for Creighton compared to just 1 for Northwestern.
Look at the length there. Good basket. Cut there for Antoine Young to get the ball in the middle, but then the length of Sherna at 6'9" erases it.
$15 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Under 3 to go in the half. Northwestern working with a 3-point lead is Cebulski. Sherna, the long 3, in and out.
Totally out of sync right now against this zone.
Echineke throws it away. Tried to go to Rogge. He was cutting in. He was wide open. Tough pass, though.
It's the right idea, but again, unconventional situations for certain guys. Echineke should have just gone up and tried to make a play there.
Save by Sherna. 2 minutes to go in the half. 15 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Jays get a break. Here they come in transition. Gonna be a foul on Crawford.
They got to find a way to beat that zone down the floor, see if they can't get them scrambled before it gets set up. Look at Manigat there. Another close one.
For the Wildcats is number 4, Alex Marcatulio.
Second personal foul on Crawford. That's big. Fresh 35 for the Jays. Rogge, the quick release 3. Tied at 33.
Big shot for Rogge. When I came to shoot around this afternoon, the first guy to walk into the gym was Rogge, and he said, if they go 1-3-1, I'm going to be chilling in that corner, and I'm going to make them pay.
Northwestern not showing patience, pulling it right back out.
So you have to have defensive patience as well.
Said Sherna stepped out of bounds.
Substitution for Creighton is number 5, Josh Jones.
Josh Jones going to replace Grant Gibbs, who has 2 fouls. So Gibbs will probably set the rest of the half. Doug McDermott basically on the bench for the last 9 minutes of this first half. Rogge, the quick 3 again. Crowd loves it. Jays back on top.
He is what they call a zone buster. Ethan Rogge, same spot, same result.
Jays with a hand in Sherna's face, and Sherna ends the 11-0 run by the Blue Jays.
What a great half of basketball offensively from both teams.
Jays can hold for the last shot. 15 to go in the half.
They can't find Rogge again. Here he is in the right corner, same spot as he's been. Got him.
Echineke, and he draws the foul, and Gregory Echineke with 3.4 seconds to go in the half will go to the line to shoot 2.
Number 3.
Nice read and seal there from Gregory Echenike. Cobb in a tough spot because he does have the shooter behind him, so he can't get underneath Echenike and get penned in. And Gregory makes him pay, and a nice pass from Antoine Young.
Echenike has already missed one free throw tonight. He shoots 58% on the season.
Area he has to improve on, and he was a good free throw shooter last season. Just goes to show you how much free throw shooting is a mental thing.
Substitution for the Blue Jays. Number 1, Austin Chapman.
And Austin Chapman comes in, so the Blue Jays
He's in for number 12, John Hinsman.
with Rogge, Jones, Echenike, Young, and Chapman. One for two, Blue Jays up one. Sobolewski with it. And Northwestern doesn't get a shot off. We are at halftime, and it's been a great half of basketball. You couldn't ask for anything more over the last 20 minutes as the Blue Jays go to the locker room, holding on to a 1-point lead at 37-36. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have an Action 3 News update, as well as a first warning weather forecast. Nick and I will be back a little bit, run down the first half stats, and also Meet the Jays segment. Good to have you along tonight. We are at the CenturyLink Center at halftime, 37-36. The Blue Jays on top of Northwestern.
You can count on us to help protect.
Halftime at the CenturyLink Center with the Blue Jays holding on to a 37-36 lead over the Northwestern Wildcats. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Travis Justice, Nick Baugh. Nick, what a crazy, crazy first half filled with great offense.
Yeah, it was an offensive explosion. Both teams shooting better than 57% from the floor. Not a whole lot of missed shots. And the big story, though, for Creighton was Doug McDermott picking up those 2 early fouls. But they really struggled against that 1-3-1 when Northwestern made the adjustment, but Drew Crawford was fantastic for Northwestern, 19 first-half points.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats. And the assist, Northwestern with 1 more than the Blue Jays. The Jays controlling the glass right now, out-rebounding Northwestern 16-7, and that's huge.
You knew that'd be a big area emphasis as Northwestern is negative 3.2 on the boards for the season, and Creighton's going to have to continue to pound the glass. But look at that, Crawford, 19 points. He's had big halves of basketball so far this year. Against LSU, he had 17 points in the second half. Against Tulsa, he had 20 points in the first half. Now in the first half against Creighton, 19 points. So a guy with great spurtability, as Clark Kellogg would say. He had a huge first half.
Let's take a look at some highlights from Drew Crawford because he was fun to watch and he was almost unstoppable in the first half, especially that first 15 minutes.
Yeah, he was great. You see the little rub screen for Crawford as he takes it middle and hits the little floater. A lot of different things he can do, driving the ball to the basket, able to use his strength, putting the ball on the floor and knock Josh Jones off his bounce and knocked down another jump shot. He was great.
Now, Doug McDermott sat pretty much the second half, or the first half on the bench. The Jays answered with points with Ethan Rogge.
Yeah, his backup, and again, a zone buster, a great shooter, shooting better than 42%. Good plays in the zone to try and make a play for him, make him a 3. He hits the same 3 from the same spot twice. 6 points in the first half there for Rogge.
If you were wondering how the Jays performed without Doug McDermott on the floor, 20 points for the Blue Jays, 20 points for Northwestern. If you're Greg McDermott, you'll take that.
Oh, absolutely. Again, a situation they haven't found themselves in yet this year. Doug's done a nice job of staying out of foul trouble for Greg McDermott. But 20-20, hey, you got a 1-point advantage heading into the second half. But Creighton has to do a lot of things to lock up defensively, and it starts with stopping Drew Crawford.
Time now for our Meet the Jays segment, brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Board. And tonight we are going to meet Grant Gibbs, the 6'4" junior out of Marion, Iowa. He transferred from Gonzaga. And a lot of people, when they look at the stat sheet, they look at the total points scored. He does so much more than that. His ability to see the floor, let's look at it tonight. He has 6 rebounds already. Northwestern has 7 as a team. And Greg McDermott has called him the unsung hero, and he really is, because he does so many things for the Creighton Blue Jays. Grant Gibbs, our Meet the Jay, brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Board. Blue Jays now coming back onto the court as they hold on to a 1-point lead over the Northwestern Wildcats in the second half from the CenturyLink Centers. Coming up next right here on KMTV, Action 3 News. Recapping our players to watch, brought to you by Lexus. Doug McDermott, even despite only playing 8 minutes in the first half, he has 9 points.
He was good.
Personal fouls.
When he was on the floor, he was fantastic.
John Scherna has 8 points, but You know, he creates things as well, because when you guard him so close, it frees up Crawford.
That's a great point. Watch when he goes back door, it can collapse the defense and open things up for his teammates.
Northwestern opens up the second half with the basketball, down 1.
Start with Gibbs on Sherna. And Doug McDermott on Reggie Hearn. And Gibbs has 2 personal fouls. And Doug has 2 personal fouls.
And Sherna goes over the back.
And I like that matchup. I think that's a matchup they should stick with for the remainder of this second half, or for the majority of the second half, with Gibbs on Sherna. I think he's got enough length to bother him and can bang with him down low and grab some rebounds.
Sherna now with 2 personal fouls. So Crawford and Sherna with 2 personals.
Right back to the 1-3-1 for Northwestern. Got shooters in the corner right now, and McDermott and Manigat.
Shaw hands Manigat with a little reverse layup, couldn't finish. Look, and there is Gregory Echineke. He was looking for somebody to pass to, and then he couldn't hold on to the basketball, but they got a timeout in time, and we'll take one right along with the Blue Jays, still holding on to that 1-point lead. Back to the CenturyLink Center right after these messages.
Time to get back out of those seats and dance for great prices from Pepper Jack's Grill. Get up and let's see those dance moves. Strongest choice for business folks.
Gumby is in the house tonight. I have 4 kids, and I guarantee not one of them knows who Gumby is.
It's a little outdated, I guess.
Do you know who Gumby is?
I do.
Okay.
If it was SpongeBob, maybe they'd know. Everybody's here tonight.
That's right. Blue Jay basketball coming out of the timeout. You said early timeouts and a half stress you out. Why?
Well, because again, this is a game that's looking like it's going to come down right down to the wire, and you never know how a timeout could affect things. I understand that he was in a terrible situation, but sometimes just a dead ball turnover isn't the worst thing in the world, but we'll see if it affects things at all.
Antoine Young, long 3. Was that the right shot right there?
Well, the shot clock dwindling down. It was probably a shot he had to take. They're surprised Greg McDermott a little bit, I think, when going back man-to-man for 1 possession.
Sherna has an odd-looking shot.
Yeah, it's funky, but it comes out of his hand nice and has nice rotation.
9th turnover on the Blue Jays.
I think Gibbs is a good matchup on Sherna because Sherna is such a smart offensive player. It takes a smart defensive player to guard him to be able to anticipate what he's going to do, and that's just what Gibbs is.
Merkovich tried to move Gregory Echineke, couldn't do it. Here come the Blue Jays in transition. Manigat. And right decision by Manigat. He could have taken the 3, went in to take the 10-footer.
Sobolewski has his hands full there, battling Gregory Echineke in the post and has to hold him. And that's something I think the Jays need to do, is look at that diagonal over the top pass to see if they can't make them pay for that. But here on the baseline of bounds, they'll go man-to-man.
Manigat wide open for 3. Got a good look, just can't finish.
Great looks for a great shooter.
Crawford in the corner for 3. Talk about a great shooter.
Again, if there's a guy you maybe don't want to step up of right now, is Crawford. There you go.
Echineke finishes. Ties it at 39.
Instead of looking sideline to sideline, they need to look at the basket and try and make penetrating passes to the big guys.
Crawford with 22. He'll stay there, but look at
Letty's been big off the bench for Northwestern there. He's got 9 points. Little tip in right at the basket. Take another look at it as has the inside position on McDermott. And Jahen's Manigat gets a piece of him as he's tipping it in.
So Curletti,
Count the basket. Dominic Curletti. He's at the line shooting 1
73% free throw shooter. He finishes the old-fashioned three-point play. Northwestern on top by 3.
And the reason the zone's good is because you get the ball to McDermott and
That's
it's
3 on
unconventional ways. That's a huge foul on Sherna. But Doug's used to posting up and being able to operate in normal man-to-man situations. And with the 1-3-1 there, he's hanging out in the corner, a place he's not overly comfortable.
Inside, Echeneke.
Boy, Creighton's getting good looks. Get Manigat, standstill 3. Manigat on the season shooting 48% from 3, and then Echeneke right at the basket, can't finish it, and then he compounds problems by going over the back of Sherna.
That's going to be the first personal on Gregory. But he'll also have a seat.
And this lineup has been good for Creighton at times, going small with McDermott and Rogge at the 4 and the 5 position.
A lot of
good
firepower
shooters,
from the outside.
no doubt about it.
$15 on the shot clock. Crawford called for the charge. That's going to be 3 on Crawford.
What a smart play from Gibbs. Talk about having to do it all. Takes away the back door and fights Sherna on the post, and then able to rotate to get outside the circle to take a charge after Manigat loses Crawford on a back door. What a play from Grant Gibbs defensively.
So Crawford playing with 3 fouls, and Coach Carmody can't afford to have Sherna and Crawford on the bench at the same time.
Right. They'll really be inept offensively with that lineup. Another good look, though, for the Creighton Bluejays as Rogge stands still 3. Good hands from Rogge, saved a layup. Sherna had Gibbs beat.
On the shot clock. Good defensive effort by the Blue Jays.
A shot clock
violation.
Great possession defensively for the Blue Jays.
And the crowd likes it. Timeout on the floor. Blue Jays down 42-39. They'll have the basketball when we come back to the CenturyLink Center. Creighton Blue Jay basketball, of course, is right here on your KMTV Action 3 news station all season long. Our next telecast going to be coming up on Tuesday, January 3rd, a 7 o'clock tip as the Blue Jays take on the Drake Bulldogs. That's going to be a good game. Mark Phelps has a good team over there in Des Moines, and that's always one of the great rivalries in the Missouri Valley Conference. Yeah. The Jays and the Bulldogs coming up on January 3rd. Blue Jays down by 3. They've trailed by as many as 8 in this game. The biggest Blue Jay lead has been 5.
And both teams have cooled off offensively. Creighton 1 for 7 to start this second half, and Northwestern 2 for 6.
McDermott with 9 points, goes up strong, he'll go to the line.
And this is a great test for Doug McDermott's ability to fight adversity. Gets in foul trouble. It's a big game. I think he really wanted revenge on Northwestern, in particular John Sherna, and hasn't been able to get very many clean looks. It's important to stay calm, but yet stay assertive and aggressive, Travis. And Bill Carmody elects to go man-to-man, and immediately Doug McDermott able to get a conventional post touch, and he gets 2 points out of it.
And McDermott hits both the free throws. Jay's back within 1. Doug now with 11 points. He's had 9 straight games of 20 or more. Foul on Antoine Young. Jay's got to box out.
Yeah, obviously, majority of misses will come off the weak side from a corner shot. That's exactly what happened, and Antoine Young got caught snoozing for just a second. Sobolewski kind of horsed him to get the ball, drew a foul.
Gerletti, back to Sherna. Jays pulled on the rebound. And then a foul on Crawford.
Boy, that's
number
foul.
4. That is number 4 on Drew Crawford. He didn't take his seat after the third, but he's going to have to go to the bench now with 14:35 to go.
Silly by Crawford. Team needs you so much. There, Manigat clearly has the ball, and you just reach in. Silly foul. That's a huge play. Because really, Creighton's done a pretty good job containing John Sherna, only with 8 points. And Crawford's been the guy that's made things go for them offensively.
Blue Jays got to take advantage of it. Inside, there's McDermott. Look at him go right around Gerletti. 13 now for Doug. And the crowd getting into it. Blue Jays up by 1, 43-42. An electric atmosphere inside the CenturyLink Center. Rebound to Raggi. Here come the Blue Jays in transition. McDermott finishes. 15 now for Doug.
Bill Carmody, I want to think about calling one. Crowd's coming alive. Back-to-back baskets for McDermott.
Doug McDermott played just 8 minutes in the first half. Drew Crawford, who's torn the Blue Jay defense up, now on the bench with 4 fouls.
The off-ball foul on Raggi battling Gerletti in the post. It's amazing. You relax on McDermott just for a second in the half court and in transition, and bang, bang, he makes you pay.
Again, everybody on the floor for Northwestern can take a three-pointer. You got to protect the line.
That's what makes the Princeton offense work. It's hard when they dribble at you because you might go back door, they might hand it off.
Tough shot by Sobolewski. And they call him, no, rather on Gerletti is the foul. His second personal foul.
That is Northwestern's 17th foul.
17 fouls, so the Jays now into the 1-and-1.
And although it's a three-point game and there's a lot of time left, you get the feeling Northwestern's on the ropes here, and this crowd's really ready to explode. And in the bonus now, you're going to want to do a lot of things to attack the basket and get back to the free throw line if you're the Blue Jays.
Jahens Manigat going to the line. 83% on the season. He hits the first one. 4-point lead for the Jays. Jahens hits both of them.
Substitutions for Northwestern. Into the game, number 12, Luka Mirkovic. And number 23, Rashawn Cobb.
The Canadian Red Bull, Jahens Manigat pleading with the fans to get on your feet and make some noise.
47-42. Northwestern with the basketball. Sherna, the leading scorer in the Big Ten. The leader on the floor now for the Wildcats is Drew Crawford, who's on the bench with 4 fouls. 15 on the shot clock.
Tough there, set play for an isolation to drive baseline for Sobolewski there, and Antoine, boy, that's close.
Taking a look at it. Sobolewski using his forearm, but Antoine in motion. Charge, Grant Gibbs takes another charge.
he has changed this game defensively, being able to slide over on John Scherna and not only guard Scherna, but be able to clean up everybody else's mistakes. That's 2 baskets he's erased this half by moving over and taking charges.
He must do that a lot in practice. He's got a big old Band-Aid over that right eyebrow. It looks like he got socked right in the face.
He got hit at Tulsa right at the start of the game, had to get stitches, but he is a floor burn guy, a tough player. They're so long in that 1-3-1 and so active. Had McDermott just for a second, but it got deflected.
This game has taken a different twist for the first half. A defensive battle.
Tough tip in from Hearn there.
Inside to Gibbs.
See where you can get flustered in that 1-3-1 there. Get caught up with a used dribble.
Kicks it back out. Manigault left open for 3. Ja hands Manigault for 3. 50-44 Jays.
McDermott attracts attention, kicks it out to his roommate, buries a triple.
The Jays and the crowd understand the importance of this game. It's the eye test at the end of the season.
Yeah, you want wins that'll know you help you at the end of the year. And both these teams going to be quality teams.
Hearn off the mark. Look at Dougie with the rebound. Doug McDermott can't finish, wide open in the paint.
Boy, he doesn't miss very many of those.
I think he was surprised he was that open.
No doubt.
Scherna can't finish on the easy layup. Foul on Doug McDermott. That's 3 on Doug. Timeout on the floor. Now it's getting interesting. Jays on top by 6. Back to the CenturyLink Center right after these messages. What a crowd at the CenturyLink Center tonight, enjoying a great night of basketball. 17,676, the second largest crowd all time to watch the Blue Jays here at the CenturyLink Center. Wow.
Venture to guess the largest was Kentucky in the NIT.
And for the Blue Jays, it might have been years ago. I think so.
Where Booker Woodfox missed a 3 that would have won the game. A great atmosphere that night and a great atmosphere tonight, and they're getting quite a show.
Scherna for 3. There it is.
3-point basket, John Scherna.
He, again, one of the weirdest looking shots, but he's consistent.
He's got good footwork and he's got good rotation, and that's really the most important thing when you're shooting.
McDermott for 3. Doug answers right in the corner. He says, all right. Doug with 18.
Trust me, he wanted a piece of Scherna, and he wanted a piece of Northwestern. And it was frustrating for him to sit on the bench in that first half, and he's made his presence felt in the last 5 minutes.
Scherna, a little one-hander. Tough to go around Echenique and Gibbs.
Job from Gibbs.
Doug McDermott. 10 straight games with 20 or more points.
Hasn't happened in 30 years. He's just relentless offensively.
8-point Blue Jay lead, largest of the game. 15 on the shot clock. Bill Carmody wants a timeout.
Yeah, he senses his team's on the ropes, and he's got to go back to the guy who's been his best source of offense, and that's Drew Crawford. Has 22 points, had 19 in the first half. He'll try and get involved immediately. This game changed once Drew Crawford picked up his 4th personal foul.
If you're watching this great, exciting game with the Blue Jays and the Northwestern Wildcats, don't worry, you're not going to miss any of your exciting CBS programming. I promise you that. Set your DVRs, folks, because coming up at 2:07 is going to be the Big Bang Theory, followed by Rules of Engagement and a Person of Interest. And then if you're waiting to see The Mentalist coming up right after the game, you'll see it in its entirety right after the ball game. Again, set your DVRs, Big Bang Theory at 2:07, Rules of Engagement at 2:37, Person of Interest at 3:07. And then right after tonight's ball game, The Mentalist in its entirety. 10 on the shot clock. Set play back door. Makes a pay. McDermott kicks it back out to Manigat in the corner. John hands it out. How about that? McDermott scores at a high rate. Sees his running mate towing the arc. Easiest 3 to hit inside out. Manigat buries another triple. And the unselfishness of Doug McDermott inside. Could have tried to challenge, but kicked it right back out to a wide open Manigat.
Giving up a good shot for a great shot. Cobb. Off of Echenique. Crowd doesn't like it. Can't fall asleep now. They've done a lot of things to get Sherna and Crawford shots here. As watch Sherna will be in the right corner, taking a look at it.
Hey, it's a good call. Hit his fingers.
Manigat got caught holding.
So Crawford's back into the game now. 8:31 to go. He's got 4 fouls.
That is the Blue Jays' 17th foul. Wildcats into the bonus. Substitution for Northwestern is number 3.
Now watch Sherna coming over some screens here. Oh, they're in the bonus here. Crawford will shoot some free throws.
Crawford with 22, but this first time at the line.
Shooting 1 and 1 for Northwestern.
It's the first one. He's got 23.
One shot.
Makes them both.
McDermott's found his way to get touches in the paint, even against this 1-3-1. He's done a good job finding creases and making basket cuts.
Cross-court pass. Back to Gibbs. Doug in the corner.
Good look from Manigat there on the skip pass.
At the 8-minute mark.
Merkovich on a pick and roll.
There's Rasherna's height. Here's Crawford. Little crossover, count it.
They're not going anywhere, Travis.
And just like that, you can talk about John Sherna all you want, but what we've seen tonight is Drew Crawford makes this team tick. Wildcats down 3. We'll be back to the CenturyLink Center right after these messages. Drew Crawford has been the difference for Northwestern tonight.
Yeah, when he picked up his 4th personal foul earlier in this half, Creighton went on a big run and extended this lead. But when Crawford's re-entered the situation, he's been great there. Lazy pass, Sherna uses his length, and then Crawford uses his strength right at the rim to finish over Antoine Young and one.
Crawford's going to come to the line out of the timeout. Northwestern on a 6-0 run in the last 46 seconds.
Both these teams have been in close games. Northwestern isn't going anywhere. .26 points for Drew Crawford.
Drew Crawford from the free throw line, shooting 1 for Northwestern.
Over the back on Grant Gibbs. Decent look from Antoine Young. Gibbs needs to be careful. He's been pretty important to Creighton's attack defensively. That's what you got to do against the zone, though, Travis, is try and crash the boards. Creighton's dominated the glass tonight, 27-19. And it's tough to rebound out of a 1-3-1.
And you get the feeling we're going to spend a lot of time at the foul line for the next 7 minutes and 33 seconds. Both teams in the bonus. Cobb at the line. Rattles it in. One more can tie it at 58. Blue Jays led by 9 just moments ago. Hits it both. The 9-0 run basically the last minute.
Taking the crowd out of the game too, Travis. McDermott's just going to kind of go baseline to baseline, block to block, trying to see if he can get a seal.
Manigat for 3. He's been big. Back out, but went back in. That's a big bucket.
11 points for Manigat now in the game. McDermott posting collapse Sherna, which freed up Manigat. So you got to push in transition, beat the zone.
Rogge, the quick release. And he gets fouled. Ethan Rogge can go in to try and complete the 4-point play. Rattled in and out. Looked like it was coming out of the cylinder. Drops right back in.
It's what you're taught to do. If you get touched at all, to go down. Rogge, his 3rd triple of the game, comes at a huge time. Back-to-back threes from Manigat and Rogge.
The 4-point play, 65-58. So the Blue Jays with a 7-0 run.
Look at Manigat fight over the screen. Beautiful job.
15 on the shot clock.
They'll be patient.
Shoulder on Manigat.
Just so many things you have to defend, Travis, within this Princeton offense. Cuts, screens, and then here right on the catch, just to refuse the ball screen and go baseline immediately. All your momentum's forcing him into the screen, and he dribbles it right into your body.
4th personal on Jahans Manigat. Crawford's going to go to the line to add to his total, which is impressive. Give him 28.
Blue Jay substitution number 5.
That's big. Manigat's had 11 second-half points. Did not score in the first half. He's extended the zone and been able to be a threat, which has opened things up for McDermott a little bit. So big minutes here for Josh Jones.
Crawford now with 29. I think it's safe to say the Blue Jays, the rest of the season, are not going to see a better player than Drew Crawford.
Yeah, he's really, really tough.
The quick release. He knew exactly where he was.
More importantly, Grant Gibbs knew exactly where he was. 9 assists for Gibbs. And again, the ball in and out of Doug McDermott's hands so fast. Wow.
And Sherna answers with a 3.
Speaking of in and out of your hands so fast, Sherna, relax for a second. Hand down, man down. 3 for Sherna. He's into double figures now.
If you're watching at home, you're watching on ESPN Full Court, ESPN3, you're watching a good one.
Good defense from Jones. Fought over the screen, contested the jump shot.
McDermott for 3. This is incredible. Blue Jays up by 9. Matching their largest lead of the game. 5 minutes to go.
Against the zone, you got to find spots, whether it's at the basket or trailing the play on the perimeter. McDermott, so smart, sees a crease and buries the triple. What a back-and-forth battle. Numerous guys making plays offensively. Doug McDermott has absolutely exploded in this second half.
And the Blue Jays have crossed a crucial point. That is the 68-point mark. I like statistics. The Jays have won 84 straight home games when scoring 68 points or more.
Wow. Magic number right there. Little guy likes it too. He likes what he's seeing from Doug McDermott. From down on the floor to up top. Everybody's loving it. Right back at you. Just a little rub screen there for Crawford to get a seam to drive. And they have to come out of the zone now, Travis, and go with this man-to-man.
He's not afraid to shoot it. And a big one.
So hard to do, to sit on the bench the whole game, not take a shot, and then step into it with confidence and bury it.
Crawford answers with a 3. Northwestern not going away.
Not a whole lot Josh Jones can do right there. McDermott wants the ball on Sherna here.
Rogge the long 3.
What a play from Gibbs. Deflection, regains possession.
What a game at the CenturyLink Center. Great effort. Both teams. Right now the Blue Jays have 75-68. Back after these messages.
And your attention, Godfather's Pizza, Omaha's hometown.
Look at Antoine Young refuse the screen, kick it out to his running mate. Josh Jones hasn't taken a shot all day. He liked that look, and he drilled it.
Grant Gibbs with 11 assists tonight.
Hey, I'm telling you, you're going to look at the stat sheet, and you're going to see 0 points for Grant Gibbs. But what he's done offensively, distributing the ball, but most importantly, defensively, slowing down John Sherna and taking a handful of charges, he's been every bit as important as McDermott has been.
Gibbs with the inbounds pass. And we've seen it. This is, you know, we've called a lot of games together, Nick. This is one of the best.
No doubt about it. This has been a great game from start to finish. Well coached, well played.
Look at Doug, work for the rebound, fresh 35.
Great decision, too.
Coach McDermott says pull it out, but Josh Jones will take a three-pointer, and he hits it. He wants to shoot the junior from Omaha Central.
No conscience. Foul away from the ball on Gibbs. Jason Sherna.
Number 10, Grant Gibbs. That's his 4th personal foul.
Travis, I can't tell you how hard it is to sit on the bench for the majority of the game, not take a shot, then see 2 good looks, even in a situation where probably that was one of those things going through Greg McDermott. No, 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 no. Yes, when it goes down.
Sherna hits the first. He's got 17. Some great offensive performances tonight.
Multiple guys have stepped up and made big shots for the Blue Jays.
Rogge for 3.
How about Grant Gibbs? He won't get credit for it, but he made the rebound happen.
Now the Jays, as Coach McDermott said, you probably want to run that shot clock down to about 5 seconds.
Yeah, just because Josh got away with it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. points. I clean up your mess. McDermott, 27.
Out of bounds. Blue Jay basketball.
Turnover for Northwestern. They can taste it, Travis.
You've got Crawford with 34, which is the most an opposing players ever scored against the Blue Jays. And now McDermott with 27.
Northwestern foul on number 1, Drew Crawford.
The stars have shined bright tonight.
That is his 5th personal foul.
And Sherna. Looks like that's going to be it for Sherna. Excuse me, Crawford.
Crawford is done. That's a tough break for the Northwestern Wildcats. 34 points. You have to applaud the effort. He was incredible.
19 in the first half. Finishes with 34. He was tremendous.
The most ever an opponent has scored against the Blue Jays at the CenturyLink Center.
Guy at the free throw line's been tremendous too. Grant Gibbs has done a little bit of everything tonight.
Goes 1 for 2. 11-point lead for the Jays.
How about that? That's Gibbs' first point of the game.
But he's done so many other things. Cobb.
Didn't communicate a switch there. Could be just a free throw shooting contest down the stretch now. If Creighton takes care of the ball and knocks down their free throws, they should walk away victorious.
For the Blue Jays, number 30, Antoine Young.
Heading into tonight's game, the Blue Jays already had wins against Iowa out of the Big Ten, Nebraska out of the Big Ten. Only 2 other schools in the entire country had wins over 2 Big Ten schools. Those teams would be Duke and North Carolina.
Not bad company there.
The Blue Jays now a minute 58 from having a 3rd win over a Big Ten school.
Creighton had what I deemed 7 losable games in this non-conference schedule. And for them to possibly walk away from this with only 1 loss is outstanding for what was put in front of them on this schedule.
And when it comes time for those wise men and women to meet in Indianapolis and discuss teams that should be invited to the big dance, the resume of the non-conference speaks for itself for this Creighton basketball team.
It'd be nice if they had a little bit of help from teams like UAB and Tulsa and San Diego State, but quality wins up and down put themselves in great position to make some noise in the Missouri Valley Conference race.
And don't kid yourself, the Jays picked to win the Missouri Valley Conference, but they're at the top. Wichita State, Indiana State, Creighton,
Northern Iowa's been a good team.
And hey, Missouri State's given West Virginia all it can handle tonight too.
And Missouri State still has the reigning Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year in Kyle Weems. So this league has done some really good things in the non-conference, and I think it's going to be an exciting race. But talk about top dogs, you're looking at them right here with the Creighton Blue Jays.
Sobolewski hits both. 9-point Blue Jay lead. And again, the Blue Jays is going to spend a lot of time at the foul line.
Northwestern foul number 11.
This could be the longest minute and 36 seconds we see.
A lot of different guys have stepped up and made plays. Josh Jones knocking down 2 big threes. Jahans Manigat scoring 11 points in this second half, knocked down some big shots. Ethan Rogge's made some big threes. Antoine Young stepped up. Grant Gibbs has done it in other ways.
Grant Gibbs has 12 assists.
He's the difference in this team. People ask, well, what's the difference? It's majority of the core guys are back, but Gibbs has just changed the way this team operates offensively. It takes a lot of pressure off Antoine Young. Antoine had to handle the ball for about 90% of the game and make plays, and now with Gibbs on the floor, he doesn't have near as much pressure to have to make every single play.
Substitution, number 12, John returns.
Josh Jones has a seat, but he hit 2 huge shots for the Blue Jays.
He certainly did.
Northwestern foul number 24.
Let's go back and forth here. You want to put a little bit more teeth in your defense than there what Antoine Young gave up with Cobb on the layup. You don't want to foul, but you don't want to just open the gate for him to go right in for a layup. It's so hard, though, because you want to have help, but there's shooters towing the arc, so you don't want to step up and step off your man and give up a 3.
Gibbs hits them both, back to a 10-point lead. Last time a Creighton player had
30-second timeout for the Blue Jays.
12 assists. Tyler McKinney had 12 against Nebraska back in 2002.
McKinney, good passer in his own right. What makes a good passer is having a good guy to pass the ball to, and McKinney had Korver, and Gibbs has McDermott. Intelligently, those two guys look for them every opportunity they can get, but Gibbs is just a special, special player.
Think about it. Even into the 10-point lead, not until it probably gets to about the 30-second mark, you're going to feel pretty good.
You don't want to totally put a bow on this thing. Yeah, just some three-quarter court pressure from Coach McDermott here, just to slow the game down. And look what I found.
Oh, and he misses his Antoine Young. Sherna with a hand in his face. Sobolewski. And now with the Wildcats foul, and they will, as Antoine Young is going to go to the line.
Just an errant layup there from Antoine Young as he almost seemed to airball, but a nice rebound in traffic and way to stay strong and cover it up.
Antoine Young to the free throw line for the Blue Jays.
On the night.
Shooting 2.
Antoine 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 12 points. And make it 13.
You figured Creighton was having a distinct advantage at the point guard position. Freshman going against a senior, and Antoine Young has definitely won that individual battle going against Sobolewski.
One minute to play. 1 minute.
At the 1 minute mark, Cobb fires the 3. There's Manigault with the rebound. And now it looks like Northwestern's not going to foul. Timeout by Greg McDermott with 40 seconds to go.
Looked like they weren't going to foul, and they slapped the trap on Manigault right at the end there.
Well, it's whether Coach Carmody wants him to get to 90 at all. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You're not going to win now.
We try and forecast potential problems for this Creighton Blue Jay team, and certainly they've been having a tough time guarding good wing scorers. You've seen Bo Spencer go off for 29, Carl Jones go off for St. Joe's for 30 plus, and now Drew Crawford, another good wing scorer, go off for 34. That's a potential problem down the line.
Blue Jays going to kill some clock. About 15 seconds separates the game clock and the shot clock, so they'll have to take one more. Manigault with it. for 3. So the Creighton Bluejays get their 3rd win over a Big Ten team. Beating the Northwestern Wildcats by 87-79. Over 17,000 at the CenturyLink Center, the 2nd largest crowd in the history of this building. Blue Jays are now 10-1 overall, 6-0 at home. They'll take a couple days off for the Christmas holiday. Return to action to open up the Missouri Valley Conference season on the 28th of December, and that's going to be a good one against Missouri State. Waiting to hear comments from head coach Greg McDermott. And Nick Boss standing by with Coach. Nick, go ahead.
Coach, in a dogfight all night, up 1 at the end of the first half. What was the difference in the second half?
I think our ball movement was better, and we did a good job of getting some transition post-ups. And, you know, Gregory Echenike played great basketball. We were just a little bit more efficient with Doug inside and Ethan out in that corner stretching that zone. And guys made some great reads against that zone. Unfortunately, we knocked down some shots.
How proud are you of Doug? Picks up 2 personal fouls, stays with it, and explodes in the second half.
Well, I'm proud of the team that we were able to survive that foul trouble in the first half and still end up with a 1-point lead at halftime.
2 more. Bear with me here, Coach. Grant Gibbs, huge. 12 assists in the game here. He guards Sherna, does it all. What'd you like about Grant Gibbs tonight?
Well, his defense on Sherna to start the second half was outstanding. And I thought for the most part we did a good job on Sherna. We didn't have an answer for Crawford. That kid can really play.
2nd largest crowd in the history of this building, 17,000 plus. How'd you like the environment, Coach?
It was awesome. I mean, it was a great game, and there's a lot of energy in this building. And we're starting conference play here in about 6 days, and I hope they all come back. And if there's a few empty seats, I hope they bring a friend.
10-1 in the non-conference. Good job, Coach.
Thanks, Nick.
Back to you, Travis.
Thanks, Nick. We'll be back to the CenturyLink Center. Wrap up tonight's game right after this.
The department would like to thank the following field club sponsors for their support of Creighton Athletics: Rose Auto Center, Greg Young Chevrolet, McMullen Ford, Performance Volkswagen, Honda, UAH GMC, Jeep Chevy, Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Dearborn Chevrolet, Auto Express, Performance Chrysler Dodge and Toyota.